Hey guys, it's Jenna. Welcome back to my channel today. In today's video, we're going to be going over part 2 of my Sephora VIB sale recommendations. I'll have all of the sale info in my description box so you know what code to use, what tier you are, and when you can shop. Today we're going to be doing skincare, hair care, and fragrance, as well as some amazing beauty tools that I think are really good investments, and this could be a really good opportunity to pick up these products given that they're going to be marked down. First, let's talk about skincare. Now, truth be told, I don't use a ton of skincare from Sephora. Unfortunately, as I started getting really into skincare and using my nursing knowledge about what I knew about the skin, as well as talking to estheticians and dermatologists along the way, I have found that a lot of Sephora's lines are either really fragrant or I find personally they don't do a ton for me. But what I do get from Sephora are sunscreen and simple cleansers that are fragrance-free. This is my favorite cleanser from Sephora. This is the Libre Brightening Cleanser. It's a beautiful glass bottle, has a really nice pump applicator. This is something that has a perfect lather. It's not super strong with regards to how it develops. Because of that fact, I feel like my skin is left feeling balanced. If it is way too lathery and soapy, I find I can really get dried out. So this is the perfect cleanser. I feel like it cleans really well, but it doesn't strip my skin. So here's the cleanser here. You can see it's actually really beautiful. I love the simplistic packaging, but the product inside is actually a gel consistency, and it's kind of like a bit of a light yellow beige color. Lee does carry quite a few cleansers, but this one has got to be my favorite. It's interesting that this is called the Brightening Cleanser because I'm not sure if I've noticed a brightening result on my skin. However, I do like it for that daily cleansing capability. It's not too strong for my skin, and it's 100% fragrance free. This is actually my double cleanse product in the nighttime, so I do use my micellar water when I take my makeup off. Then I use this to really get everything off of my skin. The morning routine side of things, I just use this. I don't use micellar water first because in theory, I just remove my serums from the night before as well as gently cleanse my skin for the day. Sunscreen is super important. So this is my absolute favorite sunscreen from Sephora. It's the Supergoop line, and this is my favorite one. It is the Unseen sunscreen. Now, I've tried a few of these sunscreens in this line, and my favorite is the Unseen because of the nice consistency of it. This is what it looks like here, and it actually does a great job of priming the skin too, believe it or not. It's just a perfect consistency. So this actually goes into the skin really nice and beautifully. It kind of mattifies slightly as well. Now, don't mind my hand. I had a couple IV attempts in my hand, my hospital visit, so it's still a little bit bruised up. But it does dry down too, where it's like very smooth as well, but it dries down to almost resemble a like silicone-y kind of consistency. If you've ever tried the Smashbox primer, the 24-hour primer, that one is similar when it comes to how it feels. This sunscreen is water and sweat resistance as well. It does say it is up to 40 minutes. So if you are, going into the water and stuff like that, you're going to have to reapply it a little bit more frequently. But this is actually one that has chemical sunscreen components to it. Now, the difference between chemical and physical, honestly, they both provide really good sun exposure coverage. However, physical sunscreens tend to not react as much to acne-prone skin. That's just something that I've personally found. If I am flaring up with my acne, I will go in with my second favorite, which is the Zinc screen. So this one is the Zinc screen, and this one actually offers the physical sunscreen components if you are acne prone. I do think that this is a really nice option. However, out of the two, this one, the mineral screen, has like a little bit of a weird smell to it. It's not expired or anything, but it just has an odd smell. So I do use it when I feel like I'm flaring up because I don't want to make my acne worse. But if I had to pick between the two, the Unseen sunscreen is still my favorite. I want to talk about an item that I am full out of. I do have to restock it myself for the spring VIB sale, but I really love the Laneige lip treatments. Now, this is the lip mask. I love it. It originally comes in a berry scent. They've now expanded the line to have vanilla and like sweet candy, gummy bear. There's so many interesting scents to this one now. It's a really beautiful, like thicker consistency, and I actually wear this before I go to bed. So it's really nice to keep your lips nice and hydrated. I feel like it just seeps into the skin overnight, and then your lips are not so dry, so chapped. They're just like nice and soothed and nurtured. There's certain words I can't say with my Invisalign in. So soothed is one of them. That's really hard. It's basically really good for your lip health. It just is nice and smoothing, hydrating, really, really nice in keeping that moisture in. And I really, really love that product. So I have my eye on getting the new sweet candy version. It just looks really, really good. I don't know if it's gonna smell like totally off-putting, but I do have that in my cart right away to get a fresh one. The berry one is a safe bet if you wanna try it out. It doesn't have a really strong fragrance at all, but it's definitely there. It's just a little bit of a berry undertone. Next, I want to talk about one Drunk Elephant product. Now, this is also one that I've used up completely, and it's one of my favorite moisturizers so far. This is the Protini moisturizer. It does have a really nice, like, cleanly application process. When you take the lid off, you actually can push down on the container, and it will release the amount of moisturizer that you need for both your face and your neck. I think it's like the perfect proportioned amount, so you don't actually overdo it and you don't apply too much to your skin. It's really nice with regards to normal to oily skin types, I think. When it comes to more drier skin types, I think you might need a little bit more of that hydration piece, but this one, if you're normal or oily, is a really, really nice option. Because this moisturizer is a little bit on the pricier side, it's a really good option to invest in this one during the sale as well. I rarely see Drunk Elephant marked down actually, so it's a good idea during the Sephora VIB sale to pick up any Drunk Elephant items that you have your eye on. The last product I want to talk about is one of my favorite acne treatments, and this is from Peace Out Skincare. Now, one of my best friends just got on this one as well, and she swears by them too. So it's really, really nice, like targeted acne treatment, and it is the Acne Dots. This is a salicylic acid product, so the active acid to fight acne is salicylic acid, and basically you place them over an active pimple. I personally find that when I've used them in the past, they don't heal the pimple like overnight. What they do is they reduce the inflammation around the area, and they will also pull out the whitehead so that you don't have that temptation to pop them. That is something, I don't know about you, but if it's like very poppable, very hard for me to avoid doing that pop and potentially getting scarring. So this is a really good option, especially if you have acne that responds very well to salicylic acid. These do really well on my skin because my acne does respond to salicylic acid. So when I do have acne and I do have something really, really like inflamed coming in, I'll put that spot on as soon as like the pimple is formed on the skin. If it is cystic and it's just like really, really deep down there, I don't find it works as well. It does have to be fairly pronounced on the skin in order to really like get that healing process going. So this is a great option if you're interested in targeted acne treatments. Definitely check these out. Now this is the last kind of like body care under skincare item that I wanted to include in the skincare section, and this is the Herbivore Coco Rose Body Scrub. This is something that I always get from time to time, usually during the spring, summer months in particular, as well as if I'm ever using a self-tanner. So when I used self-tanner recently, I picked this up again because I wanted my skin to be nice and prepped properly, so I used this to kind of slough off all of the dead skin cells. As the tan faded as well, I then used it to kind of make sure everything was fading evenly. So it was really nice to keep up with keeping my skin looking nice and even, nice and smooth as well. I love this one because it has a coconut oil component. So you do have that nice smooth feeling after using it, which is awesome. Kind of for like aesthetic purposes, I love that it is pink, and I love that it has a glass bottle because it is really nice to recycle this. It's super easy with the glass. But this is one, the only thing I'm gonna warn you guys about is to not go super ham on this because, you know, with the coconut oil component, you could potentially slip, like if you have too much falling on the shower floor. So just be careful with that. This is one that packs a punch, and like I said, I mean, you can see it's barely been dented into. I've used this now probably 5 times on my entire body. You don't need a ton, a little bit just like picks up the lather really well, and it just like gets a whole area of your body nice and evenly exfoliated. So this is a lovely one if you're interested, especially if you use self-tan. I think this is an actual like need for sure. All right, guys, next let's get into my fragrance recommendations. This is always a super fun category for me. I really love enjoying perfume. The first one I have to share is this new one from YSL. Now, it's not super new now. It's been on the market for a little while, but it was new to me as of this last Christmas. This is the Libre Eau de Parfum, and this is, which bottle is this? I think this might be the smaller version. This is the 50 ml. You barely need hardly any of this for it to exemplify on your skin. I personally feel like this is a very concentrated perfume. It's like a warm, floral, sultry perfume. It's like perfect for date night. I really do feel like it is very warm floral. So if you are not one that's like wanting something that sultry, this isn't for you. It's definitely more of a night out kind of vibe, but it's just like, it smells like luxury basically. Lavender is in here, kind of like musky, but like very warm. I think it just kind of screams luxury on the vanity. It's really beautiful, has those nice gold details. You can see the YSL logo wrapped around the bottle. I just love this. I mean, obviously we haven't been going out too much because of the situation, but even if like my husband and I are doing a date night in and we're doing like takeout in, I always still like, I find it fun to dress up sometimes, put on nice perfume as if I'm going out. So this is definitely something that I highly recommend to you guys. Next, I have to talk about my favorite springtime fragrance, or one of my favorites. This is the Guerlain Aqua Allegoria Pera Granita Eau de Toilette. I do feel like the Eau de Parfum is definitely a bit more concentrated. I don't find I need as much for that whole expression of scent to really kind of come through. This is one that I feel like I need a little bit more of, and I think it's just because of how it's composed. Really beautiful. If you love bergamot, you will love this one. I do feel like it has like bergamot and like citrusy notes. It's also got a really nice sweetness, but very, I don't know, youthful smelling. But I love the gorgeous bottle. I mean, you can see how it has that really cool honeycomb detailing on the top. And this is my second Aqua Allegoria fragrance. I have also owned the Passiflora one, which is also super beautiful if you love those citrusy floral kind of smells. I feel like this is kind of like, okay, I'm always kind of cheesy with how things smell. This to me smells like you're out for brunch with your girlfriends on a patio and the seasons have just changed and it's just like that nice like sparkling citrusy kind of beverage that comes your way and you just feel happy, you know? So this is kind of so lame when I said that, but I mean, as you can tell, I'm near the end of this one and I would highly repurchase it 100%. I do have a fairly elaborate collection, so I'm trying to kind of work my way through some of them. This is definitely on my list of like permanent favorites though. I hope they never discontinue this. Let's talk about my next favorite that I think is also one you should check out this sale. This is one of my favorites, and if you like aquatic scents, this one is a must-have, I'm thinking. It's just so good. This is the Replica Sailing Day Cologne, but this whole line is basically like replicating certain moments in time. So this one says the replication of familiar scents and moments of varying locations and time periods. This is called Sailing Day because it's supposed to smell like the aquatic deep sea. Now this reminds me of a day out on the boat. It's just like, it's so nice and fresh. Like it's very faint when it comes to floral. There's definitely that like aquatic accord that just shoots out at the top note. And because of how it looks even, it just reminds me of swimming, pool days, out on the boat, just a really nice summer vibe in general. Now, if you like the Tom Ford Mandarino di Amalfi, that is not quite the same as this, but it has a similar vibe with regards to the aquatic kind of scents. I just think this is going to be like a really big hit with you guys. You can also get this one in a travel spray. So if you want to kind of test out the scent, but you don't want to pull the trigger on a bottle yet, that's a really good way to test it out as well. But this is a really nice bestseller from them. It's nice. This is like one of my go-to summer fragrances for sure. Can we talk about favorite perfumes and colognes without talking about Jo Malone London? Now, Jo Malone London, I have 3 favorites from her, and this is from her like original permanent line. My favorite is the Nectarine Blossom and Honey. You can see I have a big bottle of this. My second 2 favorites are Wild Bluebell and Blackberry and Bay, and I have these 2 in the smaller size. The Nectarine Blossom and Honey is a beautiful balance of nectarine, citrus notes with that sweetness of the honey and the really nice floral undertone. The other 2 are also super beautiful. So Blackberry and Bay, has that fruity floralness too, but like the bay is like a little bit spicy. It's like slightly spicy. So this is one that I also really love, surprisingly. And then the Wild Bluebell is one. Oh yeah, it has like a bit of a sweetness, just slight, with that floral and a teeny bit of that fruit too. So all of these are everyday friendly and kind of like my signature scents, if I'm honest. You can also layer Jo Malone fragrances on top of each other if you want to kind of get your own combination. So that's really fun too. Now my last recommendation is actually for my gals that really want a clean fragrance. So this is Clean Reserve, and this is my favorite. This is the Aqua Neroli perfume. This is probably at least my second bottle. This is a floral citrus as well. The top note is mandarin, and then there's the neroli, which is beautiful. And I just love how, look at how the bottle looks. I just think that's super beautiful. I love the wood cap of this. It's really kind of like lofty vibes. It's really beautiful. And then it also has the glass bottle as well, which is great for recycling. So as you can see, I'm probably like, a third of the way down. It has a really nice slight muskiness, very, very slight on the undertone. But it's very it's citrusy, got a nice mandarinness with the neroli combined. It's so beautiful. This is also an everyday friendly one. It's just a really beautiful scent that makes me feel happy when I wear it. The next category of recommendations for the spring VIB sale are beauty tools. Now right off the bat, I want to talk about these slip scrunchies. I have talked about these before on several videos in the past, but this is a scrunchie that I swear by because it's the only one that does not give me a hair kink. I can't say that enough. My hair is very thick. It is very long. If I do not have these scrunchies, I get the biggest kinks in my hair. It just looks terrible, just terrible. So when I work out, I obviously pull my hair back. I do workouts at least 3 times a week, and I wear these every time, and then I can literally put my hair down after I've been sweating and it's been pulled back for at least an hour. I can just brush my hair out afterwards and it's good as new. I can go into work and film for you guys and just not have to worry about straightening my hair again. These are the black ones they always have, but this pink cheetah print one, I don't think I've seen that for a while. I think it was kind of a limited edition one, but one thing that I find as well is that even though I'm frequently using them, they take a while to stretch out. So that's also something that I really like. I feel like I probably buy these twice a year, which given that I'm using them 3 times a week at least, sometimes more if I'm just putting my hair up and doing an editing day or something, they don't stretch out very easily. I don't know. I think they have a fairly good lifespan. So these are great. They are made of silk, which I think really helps with that whole not kinking process. I also find that my hair doesn't feel as damaged as well. I do think traditional elastics will really pull on the hair, potentially make them more prone to breakage. So the size of these that I wear are actually the small size, and I do have some in my cart right now. So I have the ones that are called the Leopard, Black, and Gold 6-pack. That's what I'm going to be getting personally. I just love black because it's so easy to go with everything. The leopard print is fun, and the gold is kind of fun too. When it comes to beauty tools, I do think we need to talk about Dyson. I've talked about Dyson a couple of times in the past as well. This is the hairdryer I swear by. It is a must, okay? This is just like the scrunchies in my opinion. This hairdryer is a game changer. If you can afford to invest in this, highly, highly suggest you do. There is nobody that I have talked to that bought this and was like, what the heck? This did absolutely nothing for my hair. What I can say is that it cut my drying time in half. Again, thick, long hair. This has a really nice, magnetic detachable head. Comes with a couple sizes for that. This is the original, pink one. They've come out with a blue one. They've come with a gold one. They've really expanded the colors. But this has still lasted me. I've had this when it first released, I picked it up, which was probably 3 years ago. It hasn't crapped out on me or anything. It's still lasted the test of time. The heat distribution is super even. You can have temperature, adjusters with this. There's a cool cycle as well. I don't know. I just think this is amazing. Absolutely worth the investment if you can do it. Obviously, if you can't, don't make yourself stressed out over it. But this is a game changer for sure, and definitely worth looking at for the sale. I do have the Dyson straightener as well. This is the Corral straightener, and this is one that if I had to pick, if you guys were like, I can only invest in one Dyson product right now, the blow dryer or this, I would pick the blow dryer in a heartbeat. This is still a great option, but this is definitely something that I would purchase after the blow dryer. The blow dryer just stands on its own to me as like probably the best product they've ever made. This is no doubt still a really good straightener, but they kind of brand this as like a cordless option and like, look how cool it is. It is super cool that it's cordless, but because of the fact that I straighten my hair, you know, whenever I wash it, so a couple times a week, I find that by the time I'm doing my second straightening cycle, it's almost already out of juice. So it doesn't last super long on the cordless feature, which is something that I kind of wish for that price point. I probably wish that it would have had a couple more cycles under its belt before it drained. But I do like how the plates are a little bendy, so you do have to also make sure that when you use something like this, you kind of work with your hair and move with your hair, otherwise it will squeeze. So with a normal traditional straightener, I feel like you aren't like maneuvering the actual tool as much, but this is one that I feel like is a bit of a learning curve to make sure the plates remain even along your hair. So is this a good one? Yes. Is this one that also claims to have a really nice like reduced heat damage to the hair? Yes. So it's definitely a nice to have, but if you're wanting like a must have, the blow dryer is the must-have for sure. Lastly, let's talk about hair care options for the Sephora VIB sale. Let's first talk about the shampoo and conditioner I use on a regular basis. It is from Living Proof, and as you can see, I'm a big fan because I have the value size, huge sizes of these items. So we have the conditioner, we have the shampoo. This is my favorite Living Proof line. It's called Restore, and this really helps with color treated hair to really restore moisture, keep everything nice and healthy. This is something that a little goes a long way, and I do find that once I kind of converted to Living Proof, I found that I didn't need to wash my hair as often. For some reason, it just kept it cleaner a little bit longer. When I was younger, I was in a really bad habit of washing my hair every day. And as you know, because of that, it like makes your hair oily really quick and like, you know, faster and faster and faster. So it's kind of been painful to kind of unlearn that behavior with my hair and my scalp. So this did a really good job of just expediting that. So now I will do 2 to 3 days, which is great. And that is huge strides for me. This is my like regular routine when I shampoo or condition. This is typically what I'm using. If I'm not shampooing and I do want to extend my hair, which is really helping to kind of train it along the way to not be as greasy as fast, this is amazing. This is the Drybar Detox Dry Shampoo. This is actually the double the size product as well. This does a good job of actually removing the oil off of my scalp without making it itchy. Now, all dry shampoos will make my head inevitably itchy over time, but this is one that doesn't do an immediate job of that. There are quite a few on the market that will remove it, and then same day, my hair is just so itchy, like the scalp. But this is one that gives me a couple of days before it gets itchy. It will inevitably get there, unfortunately, because you're just layering and layering. But this does a great job, in my opinion, of not being super white cast. There's a little bit, so just make sure you're spraying far enough away. But the fact that it kind of extends my cleanliness and my head isn't as itchy as fast makes me go back to this one. I do love how this is also double the size without double the price. So when I am repurchasing it now, moving forward, I'm getting this one because it's just more value for your money. Now, keeping my blonde nice and toned really well, I do love the Blonde Ale from them as well. This is a really, really nice product because it's not super drying. I do find that some purple shampoos can be quite drying on the hair, and you can almost tell because it feels not as healthy, if that makes sense. But then your tone and your color is so nice, but then the texture of it is kind of dried out. This one does a good job because it's not like that. It doesn't have that end result of that dryness. This is a lovely one too if you are looking for a purple shampoo. If you are blonde, if you are gray, etc., this does a good job. Let's talk about Olaplex because they've got to be one of my favorite brands right now. They have so many amazing products, I feel like, and I've actually personally tried quite a few of them too, so that's super exciting. So I am fresh out of the Olaplex number 3. This is the Hair Perfector hair treatment product. This is really, really lovely. I love using this probably like once every couple of weeks to kind of really lock in my hair health. The moisture, the reparativeness of this is really, really nice. And with my thick long hair, a small bottle like that will last me like quite a few uses. So it's worth a shot, worth investing in. Number 3 is a great hair treatment. And then my last 2 faves from the brand are these two. So the Bond Smoother and the bonding oil. You do not need both, in my opinion. The bonding oil does a good job of defrizzing, smoothing out, protecting the ends of your hair so they're not, not prone to splitting, but having that nice, smooth, sleek look at the end, like a really nice result. I feel like I get the exact same result with this one. This is actually a cream though, so it is a little bit different. It is the Bond Smoother. So in my opinion, both of them defrizz, both of them smooth, both of them provide that nice hydration. But it just depends on what style of delivery you want for that product. If you're more of a cream person, then go with the Bond Smoother. If you're more of an oil person, then go with the bonding oil. Honestly though, you don't need both. One or the other is perfect. Lastly, I want to talk about my absolute favorite hair mask. This is from Briogeo, and this is also one I am fresh out of, so this is one I'm going to be restocking. Out of all the Briogeo masks, this one is definitely my favorite because it just has the most attractive scent to me, but also has the most attractive results. Definitely a nice option if you want a nice smelling hair mask and one that will just provide that really beautiful, like plush smoothness to your hair. Don't forget to check out my Sephora VIB sale recommendations for makeup. There are amazing products in that lineup, so I will link that in the description box below. Do let me know your thoughts on all of these products. What are your products that you recommend to me in these categories? Because I am also shopping this sale and I am super excited. Until my next one, guys, take care and stay safe. Bye, guys.